Dollar signs in the chat if you want to know where the money at. Dollar signs in the chat if you want to know where the money at. Dollar signs in the chat if you want to know where the money at. And of course, the money's fat.
Fat nigga gladiators and Dior slides. The portal opened. We stepped into ancient Rome like we'd been summoned. Marble floors, gold goblets, no seasoning. We gon' fix that. They tried to throw us in the Colosseum, told the crowd we was gladiators. Big mistake. Glorious Maximus turned that pit into a brunch brawl. Suplexed the centurion into a fruit tray. Took down a lion with a headlock and a hymn. The crowd lost their mind. The emperor stood up, offered his crown on the spot. We turned it down and claimed something greater. Big body gods. The Colosseum remodeled, thrones reinforced, pan flute remixes at every entrance. The lions retired, now guarding the oxtail vault like family. Pantheon upgraded with fat nigga tech, togas, triple stitch, velvet line, blessed by our Annies. Turned the aqueduct into a gravy duck. Then came the betrayal. Caesar backstabbed us at second dinner. At two doofus, we clapped back with a rib bone and took the throne. Now he's the towel boy at the bathhouse. Rome wasn't built in a day, but we remodeled it in an afternoon. What ancient empire should we visit next? Drop a comment. Hey, yo, shut the fuck up. It's fat nigga season.
Glorious Maximus. Dollar sign fat. Dollar sign fat. Not financial advice. Do your own research. I saw a tweet the other day about the fat meme coin, and they're saying that somebody's holding it back. There's somebody deliberately, like a cabal or something like that. A bunch of whales are like buying and selling it, trying to hold it back. And somebody's saying that once they're done playing that game, it should run. Because I'm looking at the chart, I'm like, why this ain't run yet? Like any meme coin with this type of community usually runs like crazy. But you know, niggas, they just hating on niggas. Nobody want to see niggas do well. You know what I'm saying? Some of these white boys in crypto Twitter racist as hell. But you can't stop a fat nigga. You can't stop the fat niggas. Dollar sign fat. Anyway, let's talk big money. Some time back, I was having an argument with somebody. Actually, it wasn't an argument. I made a post to somebody else, and I told him, I said, yo, buy ammo. He asked me, like, what's the best investment? And I was like, ammo is like the best investment. And then somebody came along, was like, oh, why would you give him that type of advice? I'm like, that's just good, strong dad advice. Okay, that just before we do anything, just make sure you got you a couple of boxes of ammo. Okay. And Jamie Dimon enters the building. And what does Jamie Dimon suggest? Jamie Dimon says the U.S. needs to stockpile bullets and rare earth instead of Bitcoin. It says here the United States should stockpile guns, ammunition, and drones instead of Bitcoin, according to JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon. He said this Friday at the inaugural Reagan National Economic Forum in California. Quote unquote, we shouldn't be stockpiling Bitcoins. Jamie Dimon said when asked about how industrial policy is entwined with national security policies during a panel. We should stockpile guns, bullets, tanks, planes, drones, rare earths. We know we need to do it. It's not a mystery. We should be stockpiling bullets, he continued. Like, the military guys tell you that, if there's a war in the South China Sea, we have missiles for 7 days. Okay, come on. I mean, we can't say that with a straight face and think that's okay. So we know what to do. We just got to go. We just got to now go about doing it. Get the people together, roll up our sleeves, have the debates. Then he continues, he says, I'm not worried about China. China is a potential adversary. They're doing a lot of things well. They have a lot of problems. But what I really worry about is us. Can we get our own act together, our own values, our own capability, our own management? I always get asked this question, are we going to be the reserve currency? He said. No. You know, if we are not the preeminent military and the preeminent economy in 40 years, we will not be the reserve currency. That's a fact. Just read history. Oof. Oof. I remember somebody asked me about the dollar. They said, what is the dollar backed by? I said, guns, nigga. Them bombs. That's what it's backed by. Jamie Dimon says the same thing. Now I feel vindicated. Now I feel like I actually know what I'm talking about.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Because sometimes I say stuff, you know, I don't be knowing what I be talking about. I just know I'm right. I don't even know why I'm right. And then Jamie Dimon comes along and goes,
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
and I'm like, thank you, Jamie. He referred to the U.S. as a Leviathan that is too weak to carry out policies while simultaneously imposing things on the American public that they're getting sick of. Oof. Oof. That boy cooking. Sev said currency backed by violence. Shout out to Sev in the house. Yeah. Anyway, just wanted to warm up with that. We got to dive into a couple of stocks. I got 4 stock watches today. This usually doesn't happen, but the way the stars were aligned, we got 4 stock watches for you today. Okay. Usually I only got 1. If you're lucky, 2. I got 4 today. This one's Applied Digital. Applied Digital Corporation, a designer, builder, and operator of next-generation digital infrastructure for high-powered computers applications, has entered into 2 approximately 15-year lease agreements with Coreweave. Y'all remember Coreweave, right? We're going to look at it. Applied Digital will deliver 250 megawatts of critical IT load to host Coreweave's artificial intelligence and high-performance computing infrastructure at its Ellendale, North Carolina data center campus. Over the approximately 15-year term, Applied Digital anticipates generating approximately $7 billion in total revenue from the leases alone. Wow. Let's take a look at the charts. This is Applied Digital. You see that? You see that God candle? It's that God candle. Jump from $6.80 up to $10. This is somewhat of a micro cap. It's a big jump. We're talking about 53% on the day, and it's still climbing. It's still moving. Applied Digital. Now we got to check out Coreweave. Let's see what Coreweave's doing. Coreweave's got a nice jump. We see that nice jump right there from Coreweave. It's settling down. We got a flag. We got a double Kasaba. That means bullish. This is bullish for the rest of the day.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
When you see that flag and the Kasabas follow, that's a bullish signal. Not financial advice. Do your own research. But AI is the future. And if you want to get invested with it, I'm going to keep you up to date on those stocks. Something else I like to keep an eye on is biotech. Biotech is big business. You always see is like crazy jumps in biotech. And Regenron. You guys know about Regenron? Regenron said on Monday its experimental drug helped patients preserve up to 51% of lean mass and lose more fat when used in combination with Novo Nordisk's popular obesity drug, Wegovy, in a mid-stage trial. Now, some of y'all have seen the effects of Ozempic, right? Et cetera, Now, I'm not suggesting anybody go out there and take this stuff.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
It's fat nigga season for real. However, if you're a shark, you might want to take a look at Regenron. You might want to take a look at Regenron. This might be, they might make a breakthrough. This is some mid-trial updates here. And I don't know. You might want to take a look at it. Some of you guys want to do your TA. Not financial advice. Do your own research. But just want to throw that on your desk. We got more biotech. NewGen IVF. Okay. You guys know what IVF is. Okay. Fertility service provider in Asia, helping couples and individuals obtain access to fertility treatments. Today announced plans to invest $30 million in staking in the digital asset Solana. Shout out to my Solana investors.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Shout out to Sol. Shout out to the Sol network. It could be juicy. Could be juicy. I don't know. Let's go ahead. Let's look at the Regenron chart. You see right there, there's a huge gap in the Regenron chart. You see it right here? Huge gap. We're talking about a dip from 600 to 495. And it's been on a major slide. I don't know if it's going to bottom out here, but if you buy Regeneron, this might be a good spot to get in. Not financial advice. Do your own research. However, let's take a look at this IVF company. If you look at their chart as of today, they had a nice huge jump following the news. Damn, and then it dipped. Everybody sold the news. Buy the blood, sell the news. They sold the news. That thing is right back down to 211. Not financial advice. Do your own research. This has been on a major slide. Look at this trend. Oh my God. This is Jesus Christmas. It's just been tanking. So I don't know if this is the bottom or not. Maybe. Oh, let me take a look. Let me see if we could spot. It's kind of hard to tell. I wouldn't touch it, but I would keep an eye on it, because if it makes a big, it's trading at $2, right? $2.08. So if it makes a jump, there's a lot of gains to be made there. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe you can get it on the bottom of that, ride it out. Just don't go out here buying the Gap stock like Uncle Hotep. That is NewGen IVF. Yeah, biotech is very volatile. That's why I like looking at it, because the volatility it's where the money's at. That's where the money's at. Crowdstrike, you guys know Crowdstrike. They were the ones looking into the whole hack of the Democratic Party and whatnot. Yeah, he was betting on Ye. Yeah. That was not a good idea.
Come on, man.
Crowdstrike is gearing up to announce its first quarter earnings on June 3rd. You guys looking for volatility? Tomorrow, Crowdstrike. Says here the average 1 year price target for Crowdstrike is $4.19. The price targets vary, with a high estimate reaching $5.50 and a low at $1.85. The current projections imply a potential downside of 11.11% from the current trading price of $4.71. So I don't know. This might be a put. Some of y'all got bread. This might be a put. Not financial advice. Do your own research. If you're a Nancy Pelosi, you probably do like a 1 year put on this. If you were to follow this article, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Just trying to show you a little bit of volatility in the market. And I think this is going to be a rocky week for volatility, especially because of the trade talks with China. Besant says China already is violating its latest trade deal.
Come on, man.
He says here, I think we're going to let the two principals have a conversation, and then everything will stem for that. So he's talking about Trump and G. Okay, Trump and G got to sit down this week and figure out what's going on. I hope they beat each other up.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
I hope the talks go sour. I need the talks to just, I want them to hang up on each other. I want them to cuss each other out. You know, I want war. I want war in the Southeast China. I just want cheap stocks, okay?
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
If a couple of soldiers gotta die, fuck it. What's bad for a soldier is good for my portfolio. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Says that China is withholding critical minerals. It agreed to release in a trade deal the country signed with U.S. negotiators last month in Geneva. He says, quote unquote, here to CBS host Margaret Brennan on Face the Nation. What China is doing is they are holding back products that are essential for the industrial supply chains of India, of Europe, and that is not what a reliable partner does. He says, we will see what the consequences are. Brennan basically said, look, you know them fucked up, right? See, I tried to talk to your advisors nice and calm. You know, we try to do things a diplomatic way. Now here y'all go wilding out. Now y'all got to talk to Trump. I tried to. Now Trump got to come to the table. He says, I'm confident that when President Trump and party chairman Xi Jinping have a call, that this will be ironed out. But the fact that they are withholding some of the products that they agreed to release during our agreement, maybe it's a glitch in the Chinese system, maybe it's intentional. We'll see after the president speaks with the party chairman.
China.
Now, I like Besant, right? Like Besant gives them an out. He like, oh, you know, maybe it was a glitch. You know what I'm saying? It was a glitch. You know, he's very diplomatic. That's what I like about him. He's diplomatic. He's very much like me. You know, oh, maybe it was a glitch. Maybe they made a mistake, right? So we're going to have to see. But I need y'all to get y'all cash together. Need y'all to get y'all cash together because there might be a play this week. And I'm betting the talks go sour. Mostly because I want them to, so don't take that too serious. That is definitely my bias speaking. I just want to be clear. And sometimes when I have a bias, I can't be clairvoyant, okay? So between then and now, I may have a clairvoyant moment. I don't know when these moments happen. I try not to self-induce them. They usually come in flashes. So we'll see what happens. Maybe because of this speech I'm giving you now, I've implanted something into my subconscious mind and it'll communicate with the gods and bring us something good. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, that's our financial update of the day. Shout out to King J.